Hey, so this is kind of like a tutorial about the names list. You've listened to a few of the daily calls. She's talked about doing the names list, just adding everyone, and then she's talked about ranking. So this is the form that I've created that kind of helps with organization. And so we're going to be talking, especially at the very beginning, we're going to be talking a lot because when you have people fill out that form, I'm going to be doing the samples for now to get you started in the business. So for the sake of this video, I just put oil names for names. And obviously I didn't put 100 down. We're only going to focus on a few of them. So you've done your names list. We have lavender, oregano, peppermint, and frankincense. And this is just jotting people's names. And then you've said, so you're going to rank. You haven't connected to anyone. You're going to rank them. So let's say lavender. She is a woman. I've kind of put the ones by the woman because we are going to be communicating a lot with women. However, obviously, if you're talking to a man, then just delete it. This is just the ranks of what Elisa was saying of the most when she went through her rank. So if you're not really sure what I'm talking about, you'll need to listen to that daily call. And I think it's like 3 or 4, maybe 5, really close on. So Lavender, she's a woman. Let's say she's 31 years old. So I'm going to add a 1 there. She's really into natural things. Let's say she just finished grad school, so she's really needing some money and her kids are at home. Let's say she has a supportive spouse. Maybe she's not super influential, and maybe she hasn't done business. You'll see that the total kind of goes there. And as you listen to Elise, she, your 4, 5, or your 4, 5, 6, and 7s are the ones that you kind of want to communicate to first. Obviously, the higher the number, that's who you want to get in first. So then let's talk to oregano. And maybe oregano, she's a woman. She's 24 years old, but she's really into natural things. So obviously I didn't put any for 30 to 45. Need for money, supportive wife, but hasn't really done business before. So there's a 4. Pretty, maybe one of the last ones that you contact, but definitely don't disregard any. Eventually you will be contacting all of these people, but your 4, 5, 6, and 7s are the ones that you want to communicate to first. Peppermint, let's say you got a dude peppermint, 32 years old, maybe not really so much into natural things, doesn't really have a need for money, maybe he has a supportive spouse, influential, and has done business before. So another 4, perfect. Frankincense, maybe they're younger, not really into natural things, doesn't really have a need for money. No, they're not married, so you wouldn't put 1 there. Maybe they're a little bit influential and they've done business before. So you'll see that that 3 is not highlighted in purple, which means that don't necessarily disregard them forever, but we want to try to get, I would say, 5, 6, and 7s first. So then once you have that, you're going to contact your 4, 5, 6, and 7s. Obviously going from higher, you want those 7s because that's just kind of a potential. Those 7s are potentials for doing the business, and they're going to be doing well because they're in that age range. Natural things, essential oils are natural. They have that need and motivation. Supportive spouse, if they're not married, then obviously they don't have a supportive spouse, but a supportive spouse is going to support them. Obviously influential and done business before really helps with the sales. So then there's a couple things for the notes. If they've filled out the form, perfect, that's purple. If they've, especially through Messenger or iPhone, maybe they've seen your message, but they haven't responded. And then gray just means that they haven't responded. And this is typically through Facebook Messenger. So you'll see they've either filled out the form, they've seen a no response, or it's gray. The seen a no response, I would definitely chill out. Sometimes they really haven't seen it, like they've seen it, but they haven't seen it. Um, so I would just kind of leave it be for a little bit. Gray is kind of, it's been delivered, but they haven't clicked on that message. And this is just kind of a thing of knowing where you're at with that person. So once you have these, I like to label how I'm communicating to them. So blue is messenger through Facebook, texting on the phone, maybe you've called, and then orange is Instagram. There is a Snapchat one, but I highly do not recommend going through Snapchat to talk to people unless if that's your only way, get a phone number for them. Because Snapchat, those chats get deleted either right away or within 24 hours. And it's kind of hard to, when you're talking to all of these people, it's really hard to remember what you've sent them and their response, and you're just going to duplicate things, which doesn't really, it's hard to remember everyone, but you kind of want to make it seem like you're remembering everyone. So I have over here is the scripts. So initially, when you're going to message, you can literally copy and paste. For this initial one, you need to make changes about specifically what has changed in your life that have made essential oils better. Then it goes like, if they say no, and that's fine, you move on. If they say yes, how to give them the form, then following up. And these are just scripts that I've used when going through Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and phone. If you're interested in just doing the phone calls, that's absolutely fine. I know some of the younger generations, texting is the easiest. You're going to get responses from texting. Maybe you aren't, because it is one of those things that can be easily disregarded. But in a week or two, you'll see that you'll have responded, that you texted them on August 1st. It's now September 1st. Send them a follow-up. I wouldn't send them a follow-up really soon after. But, a follow-up a month after is not going to be too annoying. If they saw it and they were like, oh, yes, I just don't have time to respond, which I do all the time. But they haven't said no. So don't be a pain, kind of feel, but also if they haven't said no, ask them again, but in a decent amount of time. That's gone. So once they say yes, that they want samples, you're going to put them in these sample customers thing. And obviously I have this blank. So let's say that Lavender said yes, she wants samples. So you're going to put Lavender. The communication, how you did it. So let's do Messenger, Facebook, and then what account. So sometimes, like Instagram, you can have multiple accounts. What account was it? So it was Facebook Messenger, so I'm just going to put my name. You can put their email address if you don't know that. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I get a notification, and this is as of now, you're just starting. When they fill out that form, I get a notification on my phone basically saying, hey, so-and-so has filled out the form. You can definitely message me saying, hey, so-and-so is going to fill out the form, Lavender. So then I'll kind of keep an eye on it. Once they fill it out, I'll put in that their form is done, and then their email. Because sometimes throughout the week, if they said yes, they want samples, and it's been 48 hours that they haven't filled out the form, send them a message like, hey, I'm about to send out that form or send out those samples. I need, just be sure to fill out that form so that I can send them to you. And then once that form is done, I can put in their email address, and then I will tell you when I've sent those samples. And any notes, I'll always send wild orange and peppermint. and then there'll be something else that they can sample. So when you finish those, when I send those samples, then you can follow up, and you can go follow up on here where all your scripts are. Once you followed up and they've had a fantastic experience, and you can write anything on the notes. The notes part is basically communication between me and you, and kept in one spot. The address I may or may not put in, I'll probably put in the 2-day later follow-up. So then you'll mention, like, what date did you follow up? Did they have a good experience? So let's say Lavender, I sent them on August 1st. Let's say it was Wild Orange, Peppermint, I don't know why it's blue, and Deep Blue. I've sent them, what was this one? Going to make that black. Whatever it is, I don't know why. So then you know, you can say, like, how is the Deep Blue working for you? Your 2 days later follow-up, that's basically they've gotten the oils and you're following up. So maybe they haven't used them, then just say that, you know, you at least checked on them, so put that date down, but then haven't used. So then you know, like, okay, I checked on them on August 1st. Well, we'll make this the 7th since it's been, I checked on them, they haven't used it, so then you have it like, okay, I'll check on them a couple days later. If they have used it and they had a great experience, then perfect. And then you're going to invite them to a class or a one-on-one, and you're going to put the date of when they're supposed to go. So today is the 10th. Let's just say that they're going to come on Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that's the 13th. So then I know that they should be coming to that class, which is super exciting. So that's kind of how you fill that out. Then you have the call 48 hours before and the text 2 hours before the event. These are super important to follow up. They've said that they're coming, make sure that they're coming, and then text 2 hours before. And all those calls are in there. And then you have the enrolled button and all of the wellness, or not all of the wellness, but the wellness consults, so that we can do those, me and you together, with our new enrollee. So that's how it's kind of organized. That's how it's going to be kind of organized for you and for me, so that we can talk and get people that are interested on the same base, me and you. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask, and we'll be good to go.